Decision 2012, our coverage continues now, and we're joined by political analyst Michael Yaki. He's here to talk about the importance of Super Tuesday, and we've certainly been talking about this for weeks and weeks and weeks because there are 10 states voting today, 1/5 of the states in the union. Right now, we know that Romney has won in Virginia, Vermont, and Massachusetts. Those were expected. Newt Gingrich has won in Georgia, which he said he knew he had to win. So when we look at what's happening right now, how do you look at how it's falling so far?
Well, so far it's a pretty good night for Romney, and it looks like it might even be a better night for him, depending on how Ohio turns out. But right now he's got 90 delegates, 3 out of 4 states. Gingrich has hung in Georgia. He had to win that. That enables him to survive long enough to do Mississippi and Alabama next week. But the real issue here is, does Santorum survive? This could be Santorum's last stand in terms of stopping what I call Mitt's march to Tampa, which is where the convention is. Right. And it's Ohio and Tennessee right now. Those are the fail-safes he has out there on the boards right now. And the polls in Ohio aren't going that great for Santorum right now, not what he wanted. Evangelical turnout not as high as it should be.
So Ohio is always such a bellwether state, whether it's Democrats or Republicans. If Mitt Romney does win Ohio, certainly it will be good. A win is a win. But if it's a tight win for him, if he and Santorum are tight in Ohio, what does that signal?
Well, if Romney wins in Ohio by half a point, by 0.1%, it's still a big win. He was down by 14 points 2 weeks ago. And the fact that he's closed the margin has been quite remarkable. Ohio has picked every single Republican nominee since primaries began in '72, and they picked the presidential, of course, winner, picked pretty much every race except since Kennedy.
So Gingrich and Ron Paul, why don't they drop out? Why do you think they won't?
Gingrich is, I mean, part of the new election rules allows someone else to fund your campaign essentially for you. So Gingrich has the luxury of having Sheldon Adelson, the casino magnate, basically write checks for $2.5 million for Super Tuesday, which is what he did. So he can stay around and try and be relevant. Whether it pays off in the end, I don't know. I mean, it's the odds are slipping away on Gingrich right now.
Are the other candidates hurting the potential lead candidate that everybody says inevitably will be Romney?
Well, one of the interesting stats says when Clinton and Obama were campaigning in '08, about maybe 10% of their ads were negative on each other. In Ohio, 100% of Santorum ads were negative on Romney. 87% of Romney's ads were negative on Santorum. That's a lot of mudslinging going on right now that you did not have in '08 when you had a contested Democratic primary.
So people say that Super Tuesday is a game changer. Will it be a game changer tonight?
It's a game leaner tonight. It's not really a game changer. Okay. Not enough states at stake here. And the big question is still, if Romney can make a resounding victory in Ohio, I think that can start changing the game a lot more.
All right, Michael Yaki, thank you. Michael will be back at 6 o'clock talking with Catherine more about Super Tuesday, and at 8 o'clock with us as we get the numbers coming in. And let's go over to
Decision 2012 and continuing our coverage of Super Tuesday. You heard Grant a little while ago with the latest numbers earlier in the show. We're now joined again by political analyst Michael Yaki. Michael, as this meat grinder of a thing drags on, could California be relevant? At what point could that come into play?
The fact that there's proportional representation now and how they allocate the delegates means that California can still be relevant if no one is getting a clear majority. Romney needs to win 50% of the outstanding delegates out there now to take the nomination, and these 3 other candidates are going to do everything they can in the next few months to stop him from doing that and send the convention wide open. That'll make great excitement, but not exactly a good candidate.
Okay, so when people ask you who can beat Obama, I mean, Romney's not getting a lockdown fast. What are you saying?
Well, of the candidates out there, at least among the GOP, Romney is the choice. On the electability argument, Romney always wins. And when you look at the sheer demographics of what you want, Romney should be the candidate. Whether that happens or not, I mean, you still got Santorum hanging on in Ohio. You have Gingrich, who looks at Mississippi and Alabama next week to keep going. The fact is that the Obama campaign has been preparing for Romney for months. They think it's going to be Romney. They're pretty sure it's going to be Romney. All the research right now is going toward Romney.
Okay, the concern I know among some Republicans, Michael, is that the primary process is forcing the GOP candidates so far to the right on some economic and social issues. They might appear too extreme in a general election?
Well, that's why you see people like Eric Cantor and John Cornyn and people who are much more ideologically diverse coming behind Mitt Romney now, because they're trying to end the campaign. They want to end the intra-violence going on and make this thing go away. Much like party leaders in 2008 were starting to do that with Hillary Clinton and asking her to start bowing out and just everyone to fall behind Obama and make that inevitable. The inevitability of Romney is the narrative they're trying to stress right now in the GOP higher-ups. Whether the people who are running these big checks for all the other candidates will agree, that's still to be determined.
And there's always somebody with a big check. That's true. Okay,
That's true.
so a sitting president, generally speaking, depending on the economy, has an advantage. And the economy is picking up, and this thing is just, as I said, dragging on with no lockdown. So the president's got to be liking his chances right now?
I think the president likes his chances better than they were 6 or 9 months ago, but the fact is it's still volatile. Things can still happen in the economy. The electorate is still very dissatisfied out there. Anything can and probably will still happen between now and November. No one is going to no one can claim this race is theirs, and probably no one will be able to claim it until the results are in.
All right, Michael, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Table, we make our prediction how far they go in the tournament. We start with Mike Yaki. Mikey, how far do the Gales go in the NCAA tournament?
Second round easy.
Okay, so they will win there first.
Absolutely.
8-14 tonight. Michael Yaki making things up with Pam. Vern, how do you see it?
Way to go out on a limb. I'll give him a couple of wins.
All right.
I'll give him the round of Sweet 16.
Mike, as the round table continues, does Randy Bennett stay at St. Mary's for the foreseeable future?
Anytime you get a ticket to the dance, that gives you another extension on your contract.
Vern, your thoughts following Yaki?
Okay, show me the money.
He is good. All right. All right, Vern. Very good. All right, 8-14 tonight. Michael Yaki and Pam. And again, they're going to blow the roof off this mother tonight. Yaki live.